Okay, so we're now dealing with 15.1, and we'll be treating it as 6.3, I guess. And this is with respect to the Integrity Commissioner's report, and we do have the Integrity Commissioner online. I think I should, I probably should read the motion, put it into the situation, and then ask the Integrity Commissioner if he wishes to comment on it. So I have it moved by Joan Delaney, seconded by Deputy Mayor Maxwell. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner's report recommendation, suspends the remuneration paid to Councillor Linda Carr for a period of 15 days. Heard the motion? I will open it up for discussion, but I'll start with the Integrity Commissioner. Mr. Fleming, welcome to the meeting, and would you like to comment, please?
Thank you, Your Worship. I've spoken to this matter previously at a closed session of council. I don't think I have anything further to add.
Okay, thank you. So I'll open it up to comments or questions. Councillor Paula Banks, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Hi, Mr. Fleming. Sorry, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay, sorry. I just wanted to let you know that I forwarded an email that I'd sent to the Ombudsman to your office with some concerns in it. Your personal email that I had, it kept bouncing back, so I sent it to the one for your office, if you could just check on that. I sent it to them just because it was time sensitive. But I didn't hear back, so I said you didn't get it. Okay, so...
I don't believe I've seen it.
Okay, if you could just maybe respond to that, because they had asked about you doing maybe a second investigation on this matter.
Who are we talking about? Who asked for a second investigation?
I myself sent an email to the Ombudsman asking for options to look into a reinvestigation of people inserted themselves in this investigation. I originally sent it to the Ombudsman. They said that was not their role and that we should look for an integrity commissioner, so I forwarded it to you to see if you could reinvestigate that situation. Anyway, you'll understand.
Oh, I understand.
When you get the email. Okay.
I understand your question now, and through your worship, council has my report. There is no need to investigate again. Council has my findings in my report.
Okay. So for me, the first mistake that happened in this investigation was when a CAO took it upon himself to investigate a council member. This is not the first time in Rideau Lakes that has happened. It actually happened in the last term of council as well, where the CAO, I don't know, either with the guidance of council, took it upon himself to investigate an individual councillor, but to me that's inappropriate. It's no different than me, myself, going out and investigating a staff member. We have integrity commissioners because they're supposed to be impartial. So to have a CAO go out to the public to start to question people when they have no experience, no knowledge of investigation, no HR background, to me it kind of left a sour note. The other issue is that investigation was taken into a closed meeting and it had a different outcome, so we're not allowed to speak to anything in that first investigation, only what is made public knowledge through emails to Councillor Carr. So it does leave us in a bad situation because we know information that you don't, and the information we got in the first investigation, what people said, what happened, is not the same as the information that we received in Mr. Fleming's investigation.
Councillor Banks, I need to just caution you that some of this discussion is related to strictly information that was available only through closed meetings.
No, I'm just speaking to the emails that Linda received from Mike Dwyer. That's the only thing I'm going to
by naming individuals and who did what and who investigated, you're in fact releasing information that was only available to us.
No, it was an email to Councillor Carr from our CAO saying that he was investigating her.
Okay.
So I have released nothing.
I just put out the caution. You can carry on.
Thank you, because I received 3 emails from Linda, and those are the only things I'm going to speak to. So, on September the 22nd, 2023, about a week after this incident supposedly happened, Councillor Carr received an email from our CAO, and right away she claimed this was due to the political climate. I think everyone on council and everyone on the Elgin CEC has received these toxic emails since Councillor Carr took over the position as councillor for that committee. We have received, I don't know, probably 6 emails that were copied to the Elgin CEC, both from a member that was banned from the Elgin CEC and from other members. And even to the point where recently we got one accusing Councillor Carr of pecuniary interest for driving the seniors bus. And it bothers me that they're not copying council, but they're copying the public as well. And those are the members of the Elgin CEC, and those are public emails. So we go back to what the CAO originally had told Councillor Carr. And in the email dated September the 26th, he says, specifically, it is alleged that the member said, "You are here to work. Are you here to work or just keep showing off your fine, redacted self to the crowd?" Tony, or Mr. Fleming, can you tell me that redacted word? I've had several people since this report came out, they think that that is the sexual word. Can you explain the word you redacted? Because it was not a sexual word. And I can't say what it is, but I tried to say.
I can say, through your worship, I can say that the redacted word would have identified an individual.
Thank you. That's what I tried to explain, because some people thought that redacted word was the sexual connotation. So we got past that. So then in this, in an email dated September the 26th, the CAO says to Councillor Carr, several witnesses were unequivocal that the member made an inappropriate remark to the staff member before the meeting. One witness, this is from your report. Several witnesses were unequivocal that the staff member made an inappropriate remark to the staff member before the meeting, with one witness confirming that the specific alleged remark was made. So you put that in your report, that you had one person that confirmed that specific remark was made. Yet on September 26th, the CAO in an email to Councillor Carr said he could not find a single witness that recalled that specific comment, but 2 people heard the word handsome. But nowhere in your report does the word handsome show up. So to me, that is the crux of this investigation. One investigation through email says to Councillor Carr, no one else can confirm that you specifically said about the comment, but yet you found someone. So how did you find someone the CAO couldn't 2 weeks after the incident?
Mr. Fleming, would you like to respond to that?
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you, as I said to council in our earlier session, I am not here to justify the findings of the report. My report speaks for itself. The process that we went through, I am 100% comfortable with, and I stand behind 100%. What the report says is our findings. I'm not going through it line by line with council to justify this word, that word, or the process used. You have my report.
Can I have a couple more follow-ups?
Yes.
In email to Councillor Carr, you referred to something as Schedule A. Is Schedule A the report done by the CAO? Like,
Your Worship, I don't have an email in front of me that was sent that has a schedule. I can't respond to that comment.
okay, I'll simplify.
I'm not saying it
the
wasn't
question.
sent, I'm just saying I don't have that email in front of me. I can't answer the question.
I'll simplify the question. Did you get a copy of the report done by our CAO that we saw enclosed?
Through you, Your Worship, we did have a copy of the report that the CAO did, yes.
So my question is, the complainant nor anyone on the Elgin CEC would have been aware of that report or had that report available to them. So how did you get that report? Because that report took place in a closed meeting where not the complainant or a single witness would know it even existed. So how did you get that report?
Through you, your worship, as an integrity commissioner, I'm entitled to request from the township all documents that are relevant to the investigation.
And what
I'm
was,
not going to tell anyone how I got the report. I'm simply advising that I have that authority in the Municipal Act.
so you saw that the witnesses there talked about the word, well, I guess I can't say that.
So the integrity commissioner would have access to information from closed sessions, correct?
How would he know to ask for that,
Correct.
is my question.
Well,
How did he know it existed?
He would probably review the agendas and determine that the issue had been on the agenda, on the closed agenda previously.
Can I ask the date that you received the report?
I don't have that information, your worship.
Thank you.
Okay, just to follow up.
It would be after, but just to be clear, Councillor, whatever I received would have been after we opened our investigation, after receiving a complaint.
Well,
Okay.
you got the complaint October 26th, but you didn't send it to Councillor Carr till December 26th.
Through you, your worship, when we get a complaint, we undertake a preliminary review of the complaint to determine whether or not it is meritorious and whether we'll complete a full investigation. So that would be the process that would have been undertaken before anything would have been sent to the member.
So
Okay.
you were.
So there is a delay between getting the complaint and sending the complaint package to the member.
Okay.
Well,
Other,
I guess I don't have any more questions because obviously he saw in the CAO's report what we all saw, and his report says something completely different, so I don't know how to explain that. And we have witnesses here that said Councillor Carr didn't say this, so it is very frustrating. But I would like to clear one thing up, Mr. Fleming, before I let other people speak. There are people that would like to take advantage of this and say that we parted ways because of quality of work, and we've never had an issue with quality of work, unlike Mr. Hunter, so I just wanted to clear that up. Thank you.
okay. Councillor Hutchings.
Thank you, Mr.
You're
Mayor.
next.
So I was contacted by an MP who was an MP, he's not an MP anymore, for Ontario. And he told me that, for one thing, I'm gonna get this right how he said it. I'm pulling blanks. For one thing, excuse me, I had it all there, because I wasn't gonna say it, but then I did. There's people higher up in government are watching us, and I don't know why they call me, because, as you can see, I kinda pull blanks, but, he said that because of the way it was done, it is not, well, he didn't ask for the extension of the 90 days, and there's something at the beginning. Anyways, I will probably come back with this.
Yeah, shall I come back to you if you,
Yeah.
if you do,
It should have been threw out. It should have totally been thrown out and not even gotten as far as it did. I'll think of what it was that he said.
thank you for that. Councillor Jeff Banks, I have you next.
Yeah, I'm really confused at this. I guess, can I ask the question if staff are contacted by the IC for the acquisition of Mr. Dwyer's report?
I think Mr.
Through you, your
Fleming.
worship, I'm not commenting on the process of the investigation. I got what I got, who I talked to, none of that is going to be discussed.
Well, I wasn't asking you.
Well, I think you have your answer, Councillor Banks.
Well, no,
He's-
I'm
he's
just
not-
wondering.
He's not required to divulge who he interviews and how he gets the information that he gets.
That's not what the question was. I was
What was your
asking
question?
staff if they were contacted by Mr. Fleming for the CAO's report. And I don't want to put staff on the spot here, and if they don't want to answer it, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Your worship,
You're-
the councillor is absolutely putting staff on the spot,
Yes.
and any process engaged in by my office during the investigation must remain confidential.
Okay.
And council should not be trying to pry into that process, because inadvertently, there may be disclosure of people who were interviewed, people who were not interviewed. All of that must remain confidential.
Thank you for clearing that up. I'm okay with that. Staff not answering that
Okay.
question. My other point is that the timelines in this don't make sense to me, and the word handsome, again, is used in the report. And it's almost like the word handsome wasn't going to cut it. So let's try and find another word that we can sort of fabricate to make this sort of stick. And I'm tired of the nonsense with these integrity commissioners' reports and investigations. I think that we've gone through too much pain, the community has, and staff have also, and it's time that it stops. So really, from hearing the witnesses that spoke here as delegations, I am very puzzled at why we're even at this stage of this investigation and how the process has moved forward. So I'm trusting that people come here and tell the truth. I mean, they don't have any reason to lie to me, and I'm going to take what they've said, and I'll make my decision on the report when it comes to a vote.
Okay,
Thank you.
I will go back to Councillor Hutchings if she's a,
Yeah, I got it.
and then I'll go to Councillor
So,
Deputy Mayor Maxwell.
I will ask this MP if he will come forward and give his name sometime, so that there's credibility to this. But he said that our integrity commissioner is also employed by our lawyer firm after our township, and that is strictly a conflict of interest in a very, like, it is, and it's been done in other municipalities, he told me, that the same things happen, and it has to stop. And then he said that it went on after, because I kept saying, did it go 90 days, and did he ask for an extension? And this MP has been watching what we were doing, and he heard that he didn't ask for an extension. So this should have never got even on the freaking table, let alone go this far. And somebody has it really out for somebody to have it go this far when they know that it has no grounds to stand on to serve it. So that's what he told me to say.
Okay,
I'm
that's
done.
That's an opinion. Mr. Fleming, do you wish to comment on that?
Through you, your worship, I do not need to ask for an extension of time. I will acknowledge that this did go past 90 days. The code of conduct may have a provision that suggests that I advise council or provide a status update, but the 90 days is not something that reduces or eliminates jurisdiction to continue with a complaint process. That's simply not found in your code of conduct. The other point about conflict of interest, it's no surprise, it's no secret that I am the municipality solicitor as well as its integrity commissioner. This is not the only municipality where I have both of those roles. It is absolutely not a conflict of interest. And that's all I need to say on the matter.
Well, I have
Thank you,
the
sir.
MP saying it is.
Well, their opinions. I will now move to Deputy Mayor Maxwell.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. Oh, I don't know, I find this really disturbing that, you know, when we come in the front door, there's a sign up there saying that harassment of any kind will not be tolerated. And being that the person that felt, I don't know how they were feeling at the time, insulted or embarrassed or whatever, it did happen to a staff person. So all of staff in this building is watching what we're doing here. We're concerned about ourselves at this table than we are about the staff. The Linda said it, somebody said something, or that person would not have reported it. And if it wasn't Linda, then Linda as, and I feel this very strongly, as the township representative, should have said something to correct it at the time and stand up for our staff in a meeting. So, I don't know, it's been investigated, there's been a decision made, and again, every time these come to the table, there's an argument against it, so. It's just putting us in a really, really bad light, all around.
Got that right.
Could I ask that when the person is speaking, please keep your comments until you're recognized by the chair. I will go back to Councillor Paula Banks, please.
I would just like to clarify one thing that Mr. Fleming said. The ombudsman feels that having your lawyer, the township lawyer, and the integrity commissioner as the same person is a conflict. In their best practices, number 5, it clearly states that. And when I phoned them about investigating Councillor Carr's complaint, the only thing they told me that they were allowed to look into was if there was a conflict or the 90 days that passed. In our bylaw, it says shall. And the first thing I learned in municipal training was shall means you must. So Mr. Fleming didn't give us 90 days notice, and it does say shall in there, so it should have been thrown out. And he does, I do believe that he is in conflict, and according to the best practices from the ombudsman, he is in conflict. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wish to speak to this issue?
Linda does want to speak.
Hmm?
Linda does want to speak.
Oh, can I go now?
You have a conflict, though.
No, she
She
can
has
speak.
a right.
She has a right to speak to penalty.
Correct.
Okay, Councillor Carr, go ahead, please.
Is it me now?
Yes,
Okay.
do the penalty,
First
please.
of all, thank you, everyone. I appreciate all your support. But let me be perfectly clear. I did not say anything to the fire chief about his looks at the CEC meeting.
You just identified the individual. That is inappropriate.
Well, excuse me, that's not identifying. There's no name.
A title is a name. Anyway, carry on.
Well, I'm confused because there's no name here. But anyways, it happened at the CEC meeting in September of last year. I told the CAO that I was completely innocent, and then I felt that it was a political, motivated, and a setup. The climate on this council has been toxic since I took my seat as representative for South Crosby. I was asked to oversee the Elgin CEC, which I did. However, this has caused friction with some of my colleagues because we didn't appoint a certain person to the CEC. This investigation has been ongoing for a year. I have been getting emails and verbal remarks from some councillors accusing me of wrongdoing. It was said that I had pecuniary interest in the seniors bus trip last year. I am employed for over 40 years at Howard's Bus Line, and they're the ones that hired me. It was not the township. I had nothing to do with the township. A gentleman came to this council asking for assistance about donating land to Rideau Lakes in lieu of paying parkland fees. Because I was asking questions, etc., it was reported back to the developer and the community that I was opposed to this idea. Most disturbing, that I would make a sexual comment to a young person I barely know. From the start of this investigation, I've been in shock and unbelievable. Anyone can tell you if I speak, everyone usually knows what I said because I'm loud. Yet in this case, not a single person sitting at the other end of the table with me can verify what was actually said. Yet, this gentleman was traversing the room, heard a sentence clearly enough to inform the CAO of exactly what was supposedly said. But it seemed even that has changed over time according to the new report. The other 3 witnesses against me claim to have also heard me make a comment, but in their version, not a single word of what the alleged victim reported to the CAO was repeated in this report. Instead, to say, instead, to say they specifically heard the word handsome. It is also convenient that the previous CAO claims I said that very word, handsome, but rescinded it. So the CAO took it upon himself to do the investigation when it was clearly Integrity Commissioner's job and not that of a staff member. I've been a councillor for 27 years and I have never been subject to an investigation like this, but it seems this is the new norm. This has been happening since we voted down the hub. We didn't appoint a certain person to the CEC committee. I'm grateful for the people around the council table that heard enough in a closed meeting to believe there is a big problem with this investigation. Some fellow councillors believe I need to have a chance to defend myself, and I thank you. But it seems the system is where a person can be accused of wrongdoing on circumstantial evidence and not based on verified and true facts. The accused under this process also never knows who their accusers are. The commissioner based his ruling on false evidence, not the actual facts from the CEC presented from others in the room, with my three. I have sworn and have signed affidavits from witnesses sitting next to me, beside me, in front of me, and across from me. I did not do this, and I hope that those who were involved in this frame-up are held accountable. These investigations are costing taxpayers and myself thousands of dollars, and this has to stop. In closing, there are affidavits which have been sent to you, I think, that claim I said nothing at the CEC meeting. One of the witnesses, oh, I shouldn't say this, but she has already admitted that she is the one that was talking to the firemen. I wasn't, talking. So, Darlene, thank you very much for that. And also the Integrity Commissioner, I think you are in a conflict of interest because you're with the township plus the Integrity Commissioner at the same time. This report has taken 1 year. They have been under the gun for 1 year because of someone giving false information. New evidence came out in May this year. My lawyer did nothing about this because we were told, my lawyer had said to the Integrity Commissioner that he wanted to know if there was any new information that came forward. But we got a report and said that there was something that came through in May. We had no idea what it is. And I don't know how long, I mean, it's taken, 6 months for this new information to come forward. I have no idea what it is, and we do not know. So, the Integrity Commissioner did not do the investigation, which should have been done by another commissioner, because you sent someone to do this investigation, which I don't know whether she was legally qualified or what, but is it not true that you should be doing it yourself, not sending your staff or whoever? But anyway, I said nothing at the meeting about anyway. That's it. I thank you very much, but that's it. Again, I say I did nothing and I have done nothing, and I hope to goodness when it all comes out, watch yourselves. I'm getting sick and tired of being accused of something that I did not do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Let me just make a general comment, and then I'm going to call the question. I think we've all had this go around in circles for a while. I certainly think it was not helpful to the process when council voted to withhold the report in the first place. I mean, obviously, the legalities are there, and we can disagree with the legislation, but the legislation is quite clear that these reports need to be made public, and that gives the opportunity for the accused to be able to defend themselves. It is, of course, and I've talked to the province about this, it's a very difficult situation to put a council in to make a decision around penalties for some of its own members. And we've seen that in a number of Integrity Commissioner reports that have come forward. And this one in particular is asking us to decide between a member's truthfulness and staff's truthfulness. And I know I was not at the meeting. I hear everything secondhand or third hand. And so I don't know what was said or what was not said by whom, okay? But ultimately, that's what an integrity commissioner is asked to do, to look at the evidence, to interview witnesses from both sides of this discussion, and then come to his or her own conclusion. So that is what our integrity commissioner has done. I think we talk about other issues that may have motivated this. I don't know what motivated this, but I think it's a very difficult time for our council to have to deal with this. So with that, I'm going to suggest that we call the question.
A recorded vote?
Okay, there's a request for a recorded vote.
What is the question?
Could you reread the motion, please?
What's the
Could the
motion?
motion please be reread?
Sure. The motion is always put in the same positive thing. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner's report recommendation, suspends the remuneration paid to Councillor Linda Carr for a period of 15 days. So that is the motion. Let's call the question. No, I've called the question. Madam Clerk, please call the question.
Councillor Jeff Banks.
No.
Councillor Paula Banks.
No.
Councillor Delaney.
Yes.
Councillor Dunfield.
No.
Councillor Hutchings.
No.
Councillor Pollard.
No.
Deputy Mayor Maxwell.
Yes.
Mayor Hoogenbos.
Yes. Okay, the motion is defeated, and we will move on from this issue.
Motion is defeated, yes, sorry.
Motion is defeated. All right, let me go back to the, I want to hear the next delegation, and then we'll take a break, because it's not fair for this gentleman who has had all morning to present his delegation. Councillor Carr.
Is this it? Do I have to go through some more of this?
This is the issue's dealt
This
with.
is completely finished with here.
As far as I'm concerned, it's been resolved.
Remember when vote, remember
No.
what happens.
Let's call the next delegation.